Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024. One of the things I've noticed through the years is that there exists some people who are only interested in the church in terms of its buildings. They're not interested in the church folks, they're interested in the buildings. When they can have a hands-on experience with rocks and lumber and sheetrock, using hammers and saws, the church is exciting for them. But as soon as the structure is complete, they lose interest and usually go on looking for another church that they can do construction on. And when you have a conversation with them about the church building people instead of structures, they lose interest very quickly. They have no interest in the people, they want to see the buildings. Jesus heard a question along that same line. In Mark chapter 13, verses 1 to 4, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, second edition. As Jesus was leaving the temple that day, one of his disciples said, "Teacher, look at these magnificent buildings. Look at the impressive stones in the walls." Jesus replied, "Yes, look at these great buildings, but they will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another." Later, Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives across the valley from the temple. Peter, James, John, and Andrew came to him privately and asked him, "Tell us, when will all this happen? What sign will show us that these things are about to be fulfilled?" And he spends the rest of the chapter answering that question. Leaving the temple, they're going back to wherever they were staying. It was close to the Mount of Olives. Quite frankly, they may have been sleeping out in the open in the Mount of Olives, or they may have been staying in Bethany at someone's home, or, doesn't say, but they're going back to where they're spending the night. And one of the disciples said, "Hey, take a look at these buildings. They're impressive. They're beautiful. Take a look at these stones. Great, big, beautiful stones. See the marvelous construction. Be amazed." And Jesus said, "Yes, look, while they still exist," and gave a prophecy, a look into the future. In AD 70, Titus would come in through Jerusalem and destroy the temple. This building will fall down, this beautiful, wonderful structure. But the Word of God lasts forever. And so they're looking at it and hearing this prophetic word from Jesus. And it just bursts a bubble of curiosity in the disciples. So later, they're at the Mount of Olives, across the Kidron Valley from Jerusalem, and the temple is still available, still visible, still easily seen. And those four disciples said, "Hey, give us a time frame. When is this going to happen? And give us a sign for it. Give us some inside information that we can be in the know to understand when it's going to happen. How long do we have? Are we talking tomorrow? Are we talking today? What about next week? Or do we have a whole month? Maybe a whole year? Or is it going to be in my grandchildren's lifetime? When is this going to happen?" And Jesus refused to give them a specific time frame. He just said, "It's going to happen soon." We need to anticipate the end, but not set a time schedule. God has the time schedule in his own mind, and somehow we just got to trust God that he knows what the right time is. May you and I trust God this week for the timing that God knows is right. God bless you.